called Big Cat.
Dion.
Hey, Dion.
You ready for football?
I am.
It's another season, baby.
Pro Football Show.
All right, Dion. Showtime. Football is back.
Welcome to the Pro Football Show presented by the Chevy Silverado. Week in and week out, the Silverado brings it with unstoppable grit and determination. It is officially the playoffs. It is wild card weekend. We are back. Dan is here. Brandon Walker is here. Dion, how we doing, fellas?
Good. I feel great.
I'm doing great. I mean, I know he says he feels great, but I really feel great just looking at these statistics. I really feel great.
Wow. Let me ask you a question, Dion.
Where's
Lamar?
Knew it was coming.
Where's Lamar?
Where's
Lamar?
He's resting his bag. He's resting his bag.
Oh.
So let me see.
Is he resting his back or his bag?
His bag.
Oh, okay.
Bag. He's resting to make sure he doesn't get injured any more.
Playoffs?
So that bag
It's
would
playoff
be
time,
Playoffs,
Dion.
Dion? Playoffs?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I hope he plays. I really do.
I do too.
And it could influence my pick if he plays.
I assume it would.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that game in a little bit, but it is interesting. He hasn't practiced since December 4th, but they said it'd only be a couple weeks,
Right.
and so but they still haven't paid him yet, Dion. So
Look, I think the Ravens are doing him wrong. I think giving Roquan Smith that big $100 million contract while you still haven't paid Lamar is crazy, but it's also interesting that he's not back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, how do you see this playing out, Big Cat? Because usually your crystal ball is pretty accurate. How do you see this playing out?
I think the Ravens might try to franchise tag him. I don't think that will go well.
That number's huge, though.
They might, maybe it's a franchise tag or a sign-in trade because it would be crazy if he just walked as a free agent. That would be insane.
I mean,
Well, that franchise number, we got to do some homework. It has to be in the 40s.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Right. You going to let a man, 40?
But
40?
A lot of
And you would
quarterbacks have taken turns getting the biggest contract in NFL history the last few years, and now it's kind of Lamar's turn to come to the table, and they're going to franchise him and they're going to mess with the trust of QB1.
I can't imagine he would be thrilled with that, no
it's
matter
an
what the
insult.
number is.
It's an insult. Let me tell you how this is going to play out. It's going to be a tremendous insult, and what his side is going to do is they're going to give you statistics on all the other quarterbacks that came in with him and where they are or where they've been and what they've garnished in salaries, and they're going to show you the dissatisfaction of what they're offering him, of what he was supposed to get, and it's going to be glaring, and it's going to cause all kind of commotion.
Yeah, and
Which
Lamar does have a fair gripe, not only not getting paid like one of the best quarterbacks, because he is one of the best quarterbacks, but also the fact that the Ravens have just never, ever put any good weapons around him. Mm-hmm. I don't know, maybe Lamar says to him, hey, none of this is going to work out. Don't franchise tag me. I'm going. I'm leaving. Don't even give me a number. The answer is no, which I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him.
I wouldn't either.
Speaking of quarterbacks, a lot of people talking about who's going to go number one overall in the draft. Dan, congratulations, the Chicago Bears, number one overall pick.
Thank you.
Oh my God, you can't be happy about that.
Thank you. A wise man once said, Deion Sanders, either you win the Super Bowl or you get the first pick in the draft. Every other team is a loser in the NFL. That wise man was me. I said that yesterday.
I thought so.
And I believe it. What's the point?
Hey, listen.
What's the point of missing the playoffs by a game? What's the point of losing in the divisional round? Get the first pick or win the whole thing.
The two biggest events on the NFL calendar are the Super Bowl
Thank you, Brandon.
and the NFL draft,
Thank you,
and
Brandon.
the Bears now own one of them.
Thank you, Brandon. So
That's
come and
a fact.
get it.
Wow.
Everyone come and get it. The pick is open
guys
for
are
trades. Come and get it.
Hey, Dion, do you remember, and I know it's only 4 guys, do you remember every guy that was picked ahead of you in the first round?
Yep.
That should be easy.
Who are
He was
they?
picked at number 5, so that's easy.
That's easy. Troy Aikman was the one that we wanted to go first because quarterbacks do what? They set the curve. Number 2, Tony Mandridge. Was Prime going to Green Bay? No, he wasn't. We were lucky and happy to have it. Number 3, a guy named Barry Sanders. Was I going to Detroit? No. I think they picked the best Sanders for Detroit. Number 4, Derek Thomas. God bless him. God bless him. And he's passed away now, but he went to Kansas City. Let me see. Prime, Kansas City. Don't fit one another. So let me go to number 5, Atlanta. Think about that. Atlanta. Thank you, Jesus. That's how it went down.
1989 draft, 4 Hall of Famers in the first 5 picks. That's
Tony
amazing.
Mandridge.
4.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoops.
Is
Tony
incredible.
Mandridge was a killer. Let's just get that straight.
Wow.
Tony Mandridge was, Big Cat.
To his
pull
own
up
body
college
with all the
tape.
steroids.
No, hey, pull up his college tape. The most physical offensive lineman probably ever played the game in that level.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
because he was
he
juiced
was
to the
unbelievable.
gills. Yeah,
Well, it worked.
did.
But he wasn't the first, and he won't be the last.
So Deion mentioned this off the top of the show that he just absolutely destroyed the records this year. So we do regular season
Yeah,
and we
this
do
is a new
playoffs.
season.
It is. I mean, the playoffs
who cares
is
about the
a
regular
new thing.
season?
Deion, you were mentioning before we started recording about how you were 20 games ahead of Dan. So I didn't know if you
Yeah,
wanted.
I had some guest
you got
pickers
away
in
from
there.
him.
Jerry went 5-11 last
11
week.
and 5.
Well,
Jerry's the worst.
went 5-11 last.
Okay, whatever, Dan. Play it up you want.
Listen,
Jerry, that's how he feels about you, Jerry.
all that matters.
Now you know the truth, Jerry. I've been telling you.
Can I tell you something, Deion, by the way? Just a Jerry story, quick side story. Everyone's making
Please.
videos about being, called by you to go transfer to Colorado. Jerry sent me a video. It was the fakest video I've ever seen. It was like a comedian pretending to be on the phone with you, being like, I'm coming, Prime, I'm coming. He's like, look at who Deion just got. And I looked at it, I was like, Jerry, come on, man. So he'll believe that you could get anyone to transfer to
Desi
Colorado.
Banks.
Desi Banks, yeah.
Oh, I like Desi Banks.
So Jerry, you didn't know that was Desi Banks?
No, I thought so. I sent a picture to I sent a video to Dan. He did like a skit, but I thought it was real. I was like, yo, this
You
dude
thought
looks like the
you thought
truth.
Desi Banks was coming to Colorado?
Yeah, I watched it for maybe a second and a half, and I was like, Jerry, come on. He's like, what?
Well, he has that much faith in Deion. He
Yeah.
believes that Deion can get anybody on the planet to come to Colorado.
Desi Banks is the parlay guy, right? Parlay.
Yep, parlay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
listen, I would want my guys to have faith in me like that. So Jersey Jerry just has faith like that. So it is a complete reset of the records. So we're all gonna.
Yeah, no, playoff time is all that matters. I don't
Okay.
care about regular
Yeah,
season.
we're championship
I
winners
figured
over
you
here,
was gonna
Deion.
minimize my domination. That's the way to minimize my domination. Good job, Big Cat. Way to pick up right where you left off at 2 weeks ago.
Yep, I'm going to dominate this.
So we will get to these games right now. Let's start with the storyline games of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. It is wild card weekend. Of course, the Eagles and the Chiefs with first round buys. We're going to get into, Saturday and Sunday games are always great. So this is airing on Saturday. We're going to start with the Giants at the Vikings. So the Vikings won on a last-second field goal Christmas Eve. We saw what happened with that. The Giants getting into it. We've seen how great Brian Daboll has been. Deion, I will start with you. All season, the conversations around the Vikings are, is this team for real? Are they frauds? They've had some really great wins. They've had some
Right.
letdowns. And then we've seen the Giants kind of fluctuate too. When you look at this matchup, do you look at the Vikings more or the Giants more?
I'm going to look at the Vikings more because they have the better record. They're the better team. I do love the head coach for the New York Giants. I do love what they've accomplished this season. I think it was tremendous. No one saw it coming. But they're out of their league, and they're playing at Minnesota. Now, people always elaborate on Kirk Cousins and how he's not this, how he's not that. But it's so funny. The guys always end up in the winner's circle for some strange reason. Always statistically around the top 5, top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. Last week, you can see versus the Bears, 17 for 22 and 25 yards. That is unbelievable for a quarterback, 17 for 20. They will win this game, and this game may get out of hand late. I'm going with the Vikings for out of hand. I didn't stutter, nor did I stumble. The Vikings will get this game done early, but not often. This game will be beat down by at least 14.
Brandon, you disagree, I see.
Well, I agree with him a little bit, and I disagree with him a little bit. First of all, I don't think the Minnesota Vikings are a better football team than the New York Giants.
Nope.
Secondly, the Minnesota Vikings are 13-4. Their record is sterling, but they had a -3 on their point differential, or +3 or whatever it was. They gave up more points than they scored, is what I'm trying to tell you this year. And when you're 13-4, that's crazy. However, I'm going to circle back and agree with him. I do think the Vikings win this game. They are being told that they're not very good. They're being told their record is fake. They're being told all these things, and they are at home in the playoffs. Dable can do all these great things. Can he go on the road and win a playoff game? I don't see it in Minnesota. Minnesota wins the game.
Dan?
The Giants are going to win this game. The Giants are going to win this game.
Jerry's cackling in the
I'm
corner
not
right
saying
now.
anything negative about the Vikings. They've had an incredible season. I think what changes in this game, they played each other, a couple weeks ago, very close game. The Vikings offensive line has had some issues health-wise. The Giants defensive line has started to peak at the right time. Kayvon Thibodeau has become a legitimate threat.
Sure.
Big-time game changer. I think the Giants win this game because Kirk Cousins under pressure, not at noon. They're playing in the afternoon. The noon
4:30.
nightmare is not happening. I think it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a coin flip game. I'm going to go with the Giants with the better defense because the Vikings defense, that's their problem. Forget Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, best wide receiver, best player on the field on Sunday. But the Vikings defense has failed them time and time again. And when you get to the playoffs, you got to be able to play defense. You got to be able to get stops. I'm taking the Giants.
And the Giants, the first time they've been in the playoffs since 2016. There is a special feeling. I know we're in New York, so we see a lot of these fans. But these fans actually believe in this coach and this team.
Well, they should.
Yeah. I mean,
This is
Well, they have nothing else to believe in. So what else are they going to believe in?
Yeah.
that's true. It's a good point.
Brian Dable, hell of a coach.
Brian Dable. Let's go to Sunday Night Football. The Ravens at the Bengals. Now, we talked about it off the top of the show. Lamar Jackson does not look like he's going to be playing. It's still up in the air. He hasn't practiced since the beginning of December 4th. We thought he would be back in a couple weeks. He's still not. Dan, I will start with you. I mean, we know what the Ravens look like with him, what they look like without him.
Yep.
It seems like without him, there's a long shot that they would beat the Cincinnati team.
Yeah, and I think the Bengals, they get the chip on their shoulder with the feeling that they've been wronged by the NFL. I've disagreed with Bengals fans all week, but I do have a future on the Bengals, so let's come together here and figure out a way to get this done. The Ravens' offense is just miserable without Lamar Jackson. They just don't have any type of explosive plays. Their running game, J.K. Dobbins sat out last week, so maybe he'll be a little bit fresher. The Bengals are going to win this game. They have the chip on their shoulder. They have Joe Burrow. Just ask yourself, Joe Burrow versus Tyler Huntley or Anthony Brown. That is the easiest question of all time. I would say for the Ravens to somehow win this game, they have to be like +3, +4 in the turnover department.
And score.
And that's not going to happen because you have a quarterback in Tyler Huntley or Anthony Brown that you do not trust. So give me Joe Burrow, no problem. I'm a little worried when we get later in the playoffs. The Bengals' offensive line has gotten beat up. They lost Alex Kappa. They lost Leo Collins. But Joe Burrow. It's just Joe Burrow.
Brandon?
I would love to sit here, and if Lamar Jackson were playing, I think I would pick the Ravens to win this game.
No.
I would. Well, how do you say no? You don't know what I would do. I would sit here, and I would pick the Ravens to win this game.
No,
That's
pick him
supposed to
now.
be your guy.
Because
That's supposed
I
to
do
be your
wonder
guy,
about
and
the
he
Bengals.
just
Did last
disagreed with
year's
you.
run change this franchise entirely? Did it change everything from the future? Because I have some horrific memories of Bengals getting to this spot
Joe Burrow.
against division opponents.
Did you hear what Joe Burrow said?
What did he say?
One of the best questions and answers I've ever seen in a post-game press conference. After the Week 18, a reporter said, do you feel like the window is starting to close with this team?
Good Lord.
And he said, the window is my career. The window is my career. The window is open as long as I am here.
That's one of the most badass things I've ever heard anybody
That's
say.
what
And
you want
also
out of
one
your
of the worst
franchise.
questions.
However,
Yeah,
all I'm saying is I do have some bad memories of the Bengals getting to this spot against the Steelers, against other, some divisional opponents and losing. But without Lamar Jackson, it's not possible the Bengals cruise here.
And Dion, like you mentioned, you said that you think Lamar is protecting his bag. So regardless of if he is fully healthy or not, there's a lot of politics that are going into this with that contract. When you look at this game, let's say he's not playing. I assume you believe in the Bengals?
If he's not playing, I'm not playing. I'm not playing around with the Baltimore Ravens. The Bengals are on a run, and the Ravens are not. Now, defensively, the Ravens are going to make a game out of it, but they can't score. They cannot score. Not that the Bengals' defense is unbelievable, but they cannot score. I love a lot of things about the Cincinnati Bengals. But the thing I love the most, if Lamar Jackson is not playing, ain't no way in the world. I don't know who would dare to pick the Baltimore Ravens without Lamar Jackson. It's no way. So I'm going with the Bengals by 10. By 10.
That's really the best way to say it. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Monday Night Football, the Cowboys at the Bucs. We know the Bucs got into the playoffs with a losing record because that division has just been horrible. However, it is Tom Brady in the playoff. Brandon, you're a huge Dak Prescott guy.
I am.
Dak has been throwing interceptions left and right.
He's been awful.
He's not been good. It's like 7 straight games, something crazy like that. When you look at this game, though, and you look at how the Cowboys usually perform in the playoffs, it's usually not great the way Dak's playing. However, the Bucs have been bad this year for what we're used to seeing. What do you think is going to happen?
The Bucs are old. The Bucs are slow. The Cowboys are not. Dak has had problems throwing picks. Dak has had problems turning the ball over. Dak, I believe, also is a big-time performer and is waiting for that playoff breakout. I think he's going to snap out of this, and the Cowboys' offense is still very good despite his turnover issues. I think the Cowboys not only win this game, I think they win this game comfortably, and I think Deion said it last week. I think the Cowboys are about to win the National Football Conference. I think they're going to win the NFC. The Cowboys, and it starts right here with Dak leading the Cowboys to a big win in Raymond James Stadium.
I was going to ask Deion for his opinion, but I have to go straight to Dan because the grimacing.
No, go to Deion. I need a second.
You need a second to digest that and process that. All right, Deion.
Yeah, he's trying to find a statistic to substantiate what he's about to say. I rarely ever pick against Tom Brady. I don't even want to dare to pick against Tom Brady right now. I'm on the fence right now because of the enormity of the game and the game being at Tampa. I think it's a disservice to the NFL to have a team in the playoffs that are 8-9. I don't like it. You have so many more teams that are significantly better, but I do understand if you win the division, you got to go to the playoffs. But putting somebody in there that have lost more games than they've won is a disservice to our beloved game. But in saying that, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it with Tom Brady. God, I'm going to do it with Tom Brady. I want to pick Tom Brady so bad because he is Tom Brady, but this team is not the team that they think they are. Dak Prescott will propel this team to a victory. Dak Prescott will be the difference maker. Dak Prescott will get this team to the NFC Championship game. Then I would further evaluate those Dallas Cowboys. But this game right here, I hate to see it for my man. I love me some Tom Brady. I think I've only picked against him once, and I'm going to do it again. This is going to be the second time, but I hate to do it because he's capable of anything.
Dan?
You guys are going to feel so stupid on Monday night when we watch this game, and you're going to sit there and be like, I picked Dak Prescott against Tom Brady in a playoff game on the road. The Cowboys, I have a stat for you. The Cowboys this season are 1-4 on natural grass. Their only win against the Tennessee Titans team that did not care. This defense is built for speed. This defense needs to be fast. This defense is not going to get home the way they can when they're playing in controlled environments. Tom Brady also found something with Mike Evans in the last couple of weeks. Throwing deep. What are you doing, Brandon?
I'm finding my own stat. You go
throwing deep, stretching the offense. They haven't been able to find that. They did it against the Panthers. I think that this is a game that the Bucs, I know they've been bad this year. I've been a little bit of a Bucs whisperer because the beginning of the season, I believed in them. I got off at the right time. I've gotten back on at the right time. I think the Bucs are going to win this game.
Brandon, do you have a stat you'd like to share?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
And the Bucs defense is very good. And Dak Prescott throws interceptions. That's all he does.
And to add to your
You
Mike
don't
Evans,
really believe this.
Yeah.
I think he does.
He's thrown an interception in 7 straight games, Deion.
That is a true stat.
How many
But I'm saying
wins
you don't believe that they're going to win. You really don't.
I'm going to bet. I'm going to bet my ball sack on it.
In 17 games this year,
Don't
how
do
many
that.
times?
But nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. You got to do something that somebody would want. Nobody want that. They got to earn
Someone
it.
does.
They got to spread it out. It's just wrinkly. Nobody want it.
No.
I will say, Deion, unfortunately, I think Dan has enough freaks that love him enough. They would love his ball sack.
Yeah,
take my ball
absolutely.
sack
It
for
would
sure.
go for a lot of money on
bet
it.
They
my
keep it
ball
in a little jar on their desk or
It'd go
something.
for thousands of dollars, which is
I would
disgusting.
say like
A
tens or millions.
big jar, like a big,
Yeah.
those deep south. Yeah.
Tampa Bay
Yeah.
has won 2 games against teams with winning records this year.
Okay.
One of them is against the Cowboys in the opening week. And they beat them 19-3. Dak was terrible.
Breaks off of them.
They opened the season by beating them, and Dallas is going to end their season right here. Tampa is just not a good football team. Tom Brady. His teammates aren't very good.
Yeah, but Dallas also does struggle in the playoffs. We know that. This game is awesome. I love that it's on Monday night. We've had a lot of arguments on this show about who the best receivers in the country are. I know Mike Evans is not at the very top of that list, but Dan, like you just mentioned, Mike Evans has come back to the
Mike Evans is good.
Yeah, he's come back to the table in the last few games. He's had 1,000 yards in every single year of his career, including when he was at A&M as well. Like I feel like he's underappreciated when we talk about wide receivers.
Why are you doing this? Just to give the A&M guys some shine?
I mean, am I wrong? You guys brought out stats.
No.
I brought out a stat too.
It's a good stat.
Thank you.
Mike Evans.
Hey guys, don't forget Julio, by the way. Don't forget Julio.
Oh,
Julio's done.
If Julio, now I want to bet the Cowboys. When
Don't
you bring
forget
up
Julio.
That was
Just don't
you
forget
said
Julio.
that at the beginning of the season. I was like, Julio's old and doesn't do anything.
And watch what happens in the playoffs.
And I was, all right, so then take the Bucs.
Yeah, you're going against yourself now, Deion.
Not doing that. I'm not peer pressure. No, I just like players. I don't like the team that they play for. I like players.
Well, that leads us right into the hashtag I believe. Deion, you've been saying for weeks that you believe that Dak will lead the Cowboys to the NFC Championship. And I know when we talked about the Cowboys and the Bucs game, you said after this you'll reevaluate how the Cowboys are playing. But are you still leading with that?
I'm going to, you know what? I got to be a man of my word. I'm going to ride with Dak until the wheels fall off. I know the wheels aren't screwed on as tight as they normally are, but I'm going to still ride with Dak Prescott getting this team to the championship game. They're going to do it.
Brandon, what is your I believe? By the way, Che was sitting in that seat last week.
Yeah, well, that's my I believe. Stephen Che said that the Packers will make the playoffs.
Yes.
My I believe is Stephen Che's a dum-dum and doesn't know ball. That's it.
That's just it.
That's my I believe.
That one's
he's an idiot and he doesn't know ball.
That one's very easily provable.
Very easily provable. Stephen Che, you're a dum-dum and you don't know ball. And the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl.
There's always, I believe, there's always a team that is looked at as great that doesn't play well in the playoffs and goes out early. And I don't know if they go out this weekend, but I do believe people are way too high on the San Francisco 49ers, and I believe if they don't go out this weekend, they're going out next. You're getting into some deep waters against some very good quarterbacks, and Brock Purdy just isn't going to be it. I don't care how good the roster is.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Play this out for me.
Sure.
So you're saying they could lose to the Seahawks?
We're picking this straight up, so I'm probably going to pick the Niners. I am going to pick the Seahawks the other way.
All right. So, you took the Vikings.
Yes.
So the Vikings are going to go to San Francisco and beat the 49ers.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Okay, all right.
I know that's crazy.
I wanted to just
I know that's crazy. I did look at the prospective opponents. It could be the Cowboys. The only team it couldn't be is like
no. If the Vikings win, it's the Vikings.
Right, but if it doesn't, the prospective opponents are the Cowboys, the Bucs, and the team you said, the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
I think any of those could go into San Francisco and win. Because Brock Purdy is going to have to stand up and make plays for a quarterback to win a playoff game at some point, and I think they're going out early. That's what I believe.
That's fine. I don't hate the I believe. I'm just saying, if you play it out, you now have Kirk Cousins beating the 49ers in San Francisco.
Listen, we've had a lot of teams get to the playoffs as 1 or 2 seeds and inexplicably get beat.
I agree.
And just because you had a great regular season doesn't give you the right to just go straight to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, no.
And I think Brock Purdy is by far the weak link in this NFC playoffs. I think he'll get exposed.
And we'll talk about the Seahawks and the 49ers in a little bit. But Dan, you did have a list while we were watching the college football national championship of the quarterbacks in the playoff, and you had Brock Purdy
13.
last?
13. Nope. Geno was last.
Geno was last.
You got Brock Purdy over Geno, though.
That's just Brock Purdy's
That's not
teammate.
nice. That is not
Well,
nice.
no, here's what it was. It's very simple. I think the 49ers are going to boat race the Seahawks. So if I put Geno at 13 and Brock Purdy at 14, I look like a fool when that happens.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. But
Okay, that
just
makes a
on
little
balance,
sense than
you
just-
can't have Brock Purdy over Geno.
You can't do that.
I do.
Just off principle.
But you did
You're
it.
telling me
Just
I
off
can't
your
do
expertise.
something that I did.
But you did it to protect your team pick, not as an actual individual pick.
No. Brock
You
Purdy.
just laid out the scenario.
Brock Purdy's electric.
If you're in a pickup game, with your kids on the line, you would not pick Brock Purdy over Geno.
That'd be a crazy scenario to be in, though, Deion.
would be
If we had a
kinda
pickup
awesome.
game and
Well,
our kids were on the line.
I had to paint the picture. Yeah, your kids. You win the game, you win your kids back. If you're
Do I
not,
have
you
Kyle
never see them
Shanahan
again.
as a coach?
Yep.
Brock Purdy.
Just for the record, we've now bet Dan's ball sack and kids
Yeah,
on this
yeah,
show. We're
yeah,
not even
yeah.
not even halfway done. It is time for the game of the week, as always, with our best friend, the lovely Jersey Jerry.
Come on,
last
Jerry.
minute tickets to this week's Game Time Game of the Week. Any sport, concert, or show with the Game Time app. Download the app, create the account, and redeem code football for $20 off your first order. Terms apply.
It's been 18 weeks, Jerry.
Well, sometimes he's been
Yeah,
at the
Jerry,
desk, you
come
know?
on.
You
You
know?
got to know that by now, Jerry.
Come on, Jerry.
Hi,
How
Jerry.
you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing
Come on,
really
Jerry.
good.
Jerry, we're getting closer to with you doing what you want to do.
Having sex
Out
with
here in
Ralphie?
Colorado.
Yeah, he wants to
No,
fuck Ralphie.
No,
No,
no.
not that.
We're
not
gonna
that.
cut that.
But Jerry, we're
We're
getting
gonna cut
closer.
that.
I'm going to
No,
go
we're not
and
cutting
meet Ralphie next week, and we're going to talk about it. And it's a little small program you got to go through to run him out, run her out. I'm sorry, but you're getting closer, Jerry.
Yeah, I'm
So
excited.
he can go meet Ralphie and see if there's chemistry.
Yeah, right. There will be.
Yeah. Dion, I saw the video where you found out that Ralphie also has 8 toes just like you.
Yep, shocked me. I couldn't believe it, but we have something in common.
Yes, Ralphie, and then Jerry, hopefully you'll get to run out with her.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love it. I really
Love
would.
that. So you were snickering at Dan earlier. You were laughing. Were you laughing that he's taking the Giants?
Yeah, I think the Giants are in for a big wake-up call. You know, nobody puts enough respect on Kirk Cousins. I get it. You know, they usually
It's
do.
not
choke.
Kirk Cousins. It's the defense.
It was kind of Kirk Cousins.
A
too.
little bit of Kirk Cousins, but it's the defense.
Dan, you've been notorious to give him some flack.
Oh, yeah, of course.
does.
I think he's a perfectly average quarterback.
And then
So you
Yeah,
don't think he's top
he gives
10?
all the quarterbacks.
Top 10.
He's
Could
top
be at the
10.
back end of it.
He's top 10.
You
He's
do
top
your
10.
segment, and I'll write down who I think is
you
top
do
10.
so you have the Dolphins and the Bills,
Yes.
and as we found out earlier today,
Yes.
Tua is out. They're preparing for Skylar Thompson to be starting.
Yeah. I will say this.
But that's
though.
over.
I will say this. You know, anybody who wanted to see the Dolphins in this game over the Pittsburgh Steelers is sadly mistaken. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Dolphins are a better football team than the Steelers, all right? They ran into injury
Not right
issues.
now. No, they're not. Not right now. Not right now.
They ran into injury
Maybe
issues.
with Tua they would be,
Well, not maybe, they are.
but not right now. I mean, this team is. I mean, they're done. It's sad. It's gonna be a massacre. I mean, it's gonna be really
Yep.
bad. This is gonna be probably 35-7 if they get a touchdown.
If Tua was playing, how bad do you think it
If
would
Tua
be?
was playing, I would still think the Bills would win, but I think it would be a close game. Like if Tua was healthy, it would be a much closer game. This is going to be a rout. I mean, this is probably the easiest play of the week. I'm going to go with my gut. I like the 9. Laying 9, I'm going to go with the Bills. But like I said, the Steelers, and I don't want this to make this a Steelers segment.
You can do whatever.
They're
It's your
not in the
segment.
playoffs, Jerry.
you already have
it's
twice.
They're
your
not in the
segment.
playoffs,
It's your
Jerry.
segment.
They were probably the second or third hottest team in the NFL. 7-2 in the last 9
Brandon's
weeks.
looking at you like you've just said the
Name a
worst thing
team
ever.
hotter. 7-2 in the last 9 weeks.
That's fine.
They
The
did
Dolphins
not
are a
like
better
that.
football team
They
than
did
the
not
Steelers.
like that.
Yeah, they didn't like that.
All right, I
stat,
got my
basically.
10, and
Go
Kirk
ahead.
Cousins isn't on it.
Wow.
This is no particular
who's
order.
number one?
Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Herbert, Hurts, Rodgers.
Okay, slow down.
Yeah,
You
slow.
can't just
You're
rush
going
through
so
this.
fast.
Sorry. Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Herbert,
Oh, thank you for
Hurts,
that.
Rodgers, Stafford.
Oh my God.
You cannot put Aaron Rodgers. You cannot put Aaron Rodgers and stop
Ahead
it.
of Kirk Cousins?
Stop it.
Trevor won the
Stop
Super
it.
Bowl last year,
You guys are crazy.
You gotta stop
Trevor
it.
Lawrence
Yes.
and Deshaun Watson.
You got to stop it.
Deshaun Watson.
You gotta
see what
stop
he's
it.
doing?
and
gotta
Kyler.
stop
And
it.
Kyler. And Kyler. So
Oh,
that's
know what?
11.
I'm done.
Jerry,
That's it. I'm done.
Jerry,
That's 11.
don't fall
Deion,
for
I'm
it.
getting
Jerry,
out of here. That was.
Wait, you're mad that
don't
he
fall
put,
for it, Jerry. Just walk away.
You're mad that he
Just
put
walk away.
You're
Matthew
right, Deion.
Stafford
I'm
ahead
walking
of him?
away.
Just walk away.
I'm walking
Just
away.
walk
He's
away.
got to train it.
Tom Brady is
Get
not
out
on
of
that
here.
list.
I know.
And
How
Tom
am I
Brady's
wrong?
not
I
on the
think
list.
Kirk Cousins is right around that 12 to.
Tom
he's
Brady is
10 to
not on the
15
list?
every year.
Yeah, where's
So
Tom Brady?
Tom Brady is
Oh
not on
yeah,
the
I
list.
forgot Tom Brady.
I thought you said
So
it.
there you go. No, I forgot Tom Brady. There you go. That's 13.
You didn't put Tom Brady on the list.
I forgot him. So
Yeah,
there,
Tom-
that even goes further to my point.
He should be in the top 10.
Tom Brady's
can
in the
Tom Brady
top
not
10.
be in
Forgot
top-
him, Deion.
I
Yeah,
forgot
you
him.
got
Tom
him.
Brady's
But
in the top 10.
I don't think that Jerry would
Okay,
be
well,
mad
who
about
did you
Tom
bump
Brady
out
over.
then? Who did you bump out?
Kyler or Deshaun. Who do you want to bump
Oh
out?
my gosh, that's
Oh, my
foolish.
God.
Jerry's
All right,
so
here it is
upset.
again. Ready?
Deshaun?
Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Herbert, Hurts, Rodgers, Stafford, Trevor Lawrence, Tom Brady. If you asked any of those teams, would you rather have Kirk Cousins? They'd say hell no.
I agree with
Kirk
that.
Cousins is a good quarterback. He's a 10 to 15 quarterback every year.
So you just don't like Dak.
No, Dak stinks.
Dak's better.
Dak
than
and
Kirk
Kirk
mean
are the
this
same
year-
guy.
this year or
Dak and
stinks?
Kirk are the same guy.
That's insulting.
Yeah.
You mean this year or
Oh no, in
just
career
he
they
stinks?
put up wow numbers. They put up big games, and then when you get into a pressure situation, you're like, I don't know if this is gonna work out.
So you rather have Stafford than Dak?
Yes.
I'll agree with
Matthew
that one.
Stafford just won a
He won a
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl last year.
What are you guys
He
crazy?
has to get neck surgery.
So
And they
okay,
folded
so
up like
he's gonna
lawn
get neck
chairs this year.
surgery.
Jerry, that
Lamar,
was
okay.
so.
Yeah,
that was-
Lamar's in there.
That was so pure, Jerry. He has to get neck surgery.
Good job.
Kirk is right in that 10 to 15.
Dan, good job.
He's right in that 10 to 15.
No.
He's a beloved.
Jerry, don't fall for it, Jerry.
above the
Jerry,
line.
don't
Already
fall
out.
for it.
He's
He's
just
I'd probably
push.
take Kirk
Don't do
ahead
it.
of Kyler. I'd probably take Deshaun ahead of Kirk.
Deshaun.
Yeah.
Deshaun is where the
hates-
line is to me.
Deshaun
Deshaun
Watson
Watson.
is. I know that he was bad this year. He was out of this world good when he was on the Texans.
You're basing everything on right now.
Well, how else would you do it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you're basing everything on right now, how is Aaron Rodgers on there?
Aaron Rodgers is better than
Rodgers
Kirk Cousins.
better than Kirk Cousins.
You're basing this on right now.
Oh,
You
he's
just
saying
saw.
Rodgers isn't playing anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's. I mean, whatever.
A lot of
Sure.
semantics.
No, not that he's not playing anymore. What he did for the season. That's what you're basing this
No,
on.
I'd still take Aaron. I think if Aaron Rodgers were on the Vikings, they would be just as good, if not better. And I'd feel like they
Okay.
could make a deeper
I
run.
think they'd assuredly be better.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Vikings won so many fluky games.
But you're also
they went 13-4, so it's hard to be better than 13.
But you're giving Aaron Rodgers Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. You guys are crazy. And this
you
now
guys are
becomes
twins.
like I hate Kirk Cousins. I think he's a perfectly Vikings fans would say the Bears would kill for Kirk Cousins. He'd
Kirk
be the best
Cousins can
quarterback of all
play.
time. He would be the best quarterback in Chicago Bears history. That's a fact. That is a fact. He's a very good average. You know what he is, Deion? And I know you know this. It's the win because and win with. Kirk Cousins is
I
a
like that.
win with.
No,
He's
all the
not a
time.
win because.
I would say no. Out of 17 games, he's gonna out of 11 of those games he's gonna win because.
We're talking playoffs. He's not a win because. He's a win with. And that's fine. You can go far with the win with. Jimmy G's a win with.
But he's not going to beat you. He's not going to beat you. What I mean by he's not going to defeat his own team.
Okay. We'll see when he throws like 3 interceptions in a playoff.
He's not going to do that.
We will
He's not
see.
gonna do that.
But the whole point of Jerry's segment was the Dolphins Bills. I assume we all agree that it's going to be the Bills.
Oh, it's a blowout. It's
gonna be ugly.
blowout. This is the
Yeah,
game
you
is
can't.
gonna
You
be a
can't.
joke.
Come on, it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold.
It's
Never mind.
a shame because
Yes, you
with,
are
with
Dolphins
Tua,
fans.
with
It's not
Tua
good.
healthy, I believe the Dolphins could have gone in there and beaten Buffalo. They almost did it a couple of weeks ago, but they can't now.
But also, I just want to say this for people at home. Betting aside, your own fan allegiance aside, if you're just an unbiased like, oh, the playoffs are on, let me tune in. If you're not rooting for the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl, you're a terrible person. A horrible, horrible person.
Oh, that's the way to encourage him. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I said betting aside and
Yes.
team fan. If you're a Bengals fan, if you're a Ravens fan, if you're a 49ers fan, I don't care. But I'm saying if you're just some guy who just shows up to the bars like, oh, game's on, who am I rooting for? The Bills.
Kirk Cousins are fully healthy Tua.
I don't know if they make guys like that.
Yeah, that's where the line is. That's where you really got to start thinking. All right, continue. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's
Right.
okay. It's okay. I know you're a Dolphins fan, so it hurts to think about what could have been.
Yeah. Well, the whole last
I mean,
few
Tua
years
was electric this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. Let's get to the rapid fire games of the week presented by Cross Country Mortgage. Players watch game film to prepare. Finding your dream home is no different, and Cross Country Mortgage is the partner that's prepped to put you in position to win. Reach out to us today at ccm.com/barstool. That's ccm.com/barstool, ccm.com/barstool. Equal housing opportunity in MLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval in MLS Consumer Access.org, a game that we've already talked about a lot, but we are going to continue. The Seahawks at the 49ers. The 49ers have beat the Seahawks twice this season. Brock Purdy has yet to lose a game that he has started, and we know the Seahawks benefited, Dan, from the Packers losing. The Packers are dead. I know you were very happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
When you look at this game, you've got Geno, you've got Brock Purdy. What do you think is going to happen?
I mean, it's going to be the 49ers easy. And I know the Seahawks deserve a ton of credit for the season they had. Everyone thought they were going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Pete Carroll's done a great job. Geno Smith's been fantastic. Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf, like a lot of these guys, they're new cornerback who's been awesome. His name is escaping me right now. The Seahawks have been an unbelievable story this year, and they have 2 picks next year, which is incredible. The 49ers are just a way better team, and I don't even think it's not a conversation about Brock Purdy. Their defense is ferocious, and the way I'd put it is, if you're a quarterback, there's never been a better situation for a quarterback to step into than the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy has to stand there in the huddle, and he's like, okay, what's my play going to be? I'll hand it off to Christian McCaffrey, or I'll throw it to George Kittle, or I'll throw it to Deebo Samuel, or I'll throw it to Brandon Ayuk. Oh, my left tackle is one of the best of all time. He's got it all there. So he doesn't have to do a lot. He just got to get it to his guys and let them make the plays.
Dion?
I like probably 60% of what he just said. I really do. The better quarterback in this game is Geno. This is by far.
Not by my
San
rankings.
Francisco 40. Yeah, no, your rankings don't matter. Okay, Geno is the better quarterback. The San Francisco 49ers have a tremendous defense, and they're going to come to play. He also, I just forgot the word that he said. Did he say ferocious?
Ferocious, yes.
Yeah, I haven't heard that in associated with football. I don't know where he gets that from.
Oh, that's a great word.
It's watch the 49ers defense.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Do you know what they got?
Yeah, but
guys to the ball.
Ferocious.
Guys to the ball.
I don't
ferocious.
normally practice the word ferocious. I don't practice that word. But the 49ers will win. I'm not going to say decisively, but they will win this game, and hopefully Geno gets comeback player of the year.
Brandon, your little.
That's it.
Well, first of all,
What is the little?
I got to
con-
back up Dan a little bit. Ferocious is one of the best words to call a defense. If you call a defense ferocious, I know exactly what that means.
And if you could pick anyone off the street and have them watch the 49ers game film and be like, what would the word?
And they're going to say, wow, they're ferocious.
Yeah, they're ferocious. That's a ferocious defense.
There it is.
So you're going to watch, what else would you watch, you would say, man, that's ferocious?
If we were
bear
watching-
attack?
I was going to say a lion attack.
Animal
Say a
Kingdom?
Lion, yeah.
Yeah, like out on the savannah and the lions attack a wildebeest.
Or like a grizzly bear eating a human being?
Right.
That's ferocious.
Well, that's a lot.
Well, I mean,
Wow.
it happens.
I guess it would be ferocious. Is it my turn to talk about the game?
Yes, it is.
Um,
Go ahead, sir.
it's the third time these teams have played.
Uh-oh, you're going to do this?
I'm not going to pick the Seahawks to win.
hard
But
to beat the
since
team.
if we were talking about the 9.5 number, I love the Seahawks there. The Niners are going to win this game. I don't think they're long for the playoffs, though, because you can say what you want about Brock Purdy. It's an easy job. At some point, Brock Purdy is going to have to make a play that wins San Francisco the game in the playoff. I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Well said.
Here, I think they can handle themselves against Seattle and win a close game. But I do think it's a closer game than Dan thinks.
You really want to say it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
I do. I do.
Yeah, it's fine to say.
Listen, Deion, you played in the National Football League. When you got to the playoffs and you were playing for something real, and you look across the field and you see somebody you've already seen twice, you almost have to roll your eyes, right? Like how do you really tap into what you did the first 2 times?
I've always played for something real, and second of all, I don't roll my eyes.
Well, okay, Deion, I wasn't making it a personal attack on you. I was just saying.
I know. I just wanted to state. I just wanted to.
You've never rolled your eyes?
I don't. No, I don't roll my eyes.
He rolls his eyes.
Rolls his eyes. So it's
roll my eyes.
the old
Kayce rolls her eyes.
I do.
I don't roll my eyes.
I do roll my eyes a lot. At Brandon, as a matter of fact. I roll them.
That's what I mean.
What about
Quite
the
often.
point of playing a team the third time though? Isn't that unique?
Not really. I mean,
Well, I guess I'll shut up.
people always say it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. That's not true.
No,
whatsoever.
it's-
You can beat a team 5 times in a row. It don't matter.
it's
If you can beat them, you can beat them.
It's statistically not true. I just looked it up. I don't know if it's been updated in the last 2 years, but since 1970, the teams that have, when they faced 3 times, 21 times it's occurred, and it's 14-7 for a team to sweep. So it can't be that hard.
I have picked the Niners to win the game.
You have.
No, it sounds like you
and
want the Seahawks. Put TJ, make sure he has
I think
the
it's closer.
Seahawks.
I think it's closer.
Make sure he has the Seahawks.
think it's close.
And it was my fault that I brought up the cliche. So you can.
Geno can play. Pete Carroll can coach. They're going to go in there and they're not going to get embarrassed. That's all I'm trying to say.
And Dion, to your point about Geno, I mean, we love to laugh at what he said earlier in the season when he was like, "They wrote me off, but I ain't right back." I mean, he has had one hell of a
right.
season.
Yes.
Yes, he has.
Let's talk-
Historical season for a quarterback in Seattle.
18 games.
17.
And
17 games, 18 weeks.
Yeah.
Well,
And?
he just barely beat the record.
It's also only one more.
Yeah. But he beat Russell's
but
record.
nobody
in
expected
the
him to be anything in the beginning of the year.
17th game.
We all thought he was terrible.
I'm not taking anything away from
You
Gino.
do.
I gave a whole speech about how the
You
Seahawks
have him
have an
behind Brock
incredible
Purdy.
because Brock Purdy is the real deal.
He's just doing it
Brock
because
and
he's
roll,
taking the 49ers.
baby. Brock and roll.
He's taking the
If
49ers.
I can come up with something
It's
good with Gino, I'm
Brocktober.
going to say it.
Yeah. You can just say it right in the middle of this next game,
All
Purdy.
right,
Okay,
give
just
me some
interrupt me at
time.
any point. Let's talk about the Chargers and the Jags. Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, both in their first playoff games. Two quarterbacks, young guys, a lot of attention on. We've known how good Justin Herbert is. Thank God Trevor Lawrence has a coach this year, but Doug Peterson that's made him look good. Dion, I will start with you. When you look at this Jags team and this Chargers team and the young talent that's around these guys, what can you expect in this wild card weekend?
Some scoring. These guys are going to score. They're going to push the ball down the field. Both these guys have tremendous arms. You could close your eyes darn near. You can't do that because you wouldn't see the game. My bad. Just looking at these guys, they're very similar. Height, length, just the way they attack the game, their arm strength, these guys are phenomenal. Usually, my formula is always to go with the better quarterback. This is a toss-up, but I'm going to go with the Chargers. I'm going to go with the Chargers for several reasons, and I just think it's going to be a lot of pressure by the defensive front from the Chargers on the Jaguars. I'm going with the Chargers.
Brandon?
Jags. I was on them before they really got rolling. I was on them all year. I went through some tough weeks because I really believe in Trevor Lawrence. I think within 3 years, Trevor Lawrence will be one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the National Football League, maybe even quicker than that.
Who's he taking down?
We'll see.
No, but
Well, hold on.
Mahomes, Allen, Burrow. Who's he taking down?
That's a great question. I'm going to say he passes Burrow in the next 3 years.
Okay,
How
that's
about that?
wrong.
I'm going to say he passes Burrow in
That's
the next
wrong.
I
3
thought
years.
you were just going to go with he'll be a top
And
5
maybe he'll pass
quarterback.
Josh Allen. I don't think he'll pass Patrick Mahomes in any stretch of the imagination, but he's going to be very, very good. He's good now. And he didn't play that well last week when they clinched to get in the playoffs, and I think he's going to play a lot better this week. I think the Jags win this game, and I think this is a big-time story for Jacksonville.
Dan?
I agree with Brandon. To me, it comes down to coaching. I think Doug Peterson's a phenomenal coach. I think Brandon Staley might have shit for brains. So I like Brandon Staley as a guy, but what he did in weeks 18, having his starters out there for the entire game in a meaningless game.
Why not? Why not?
Because they're
get
the
them
most,
hurt.
If they don't have continuity, they could get hurt at practice. If they don't have continuity,
Deion.
and they're not
After
playing.
17 games, they don't have
Deion,
continuity?
they're the most injured team franchise in the history of the world.
And that's more the reason why they need to have their butts out there to play, to make up that time and get some cohesiveness.
You're building continuity in week 18?
Yep, I got to win because I got to have the rhythm. I can't sit on one out that is barely
What
played.
if you lose
This
your
team had
number
gel
one
together.
wide receiver?
And
That hurts.
Wait, Jerry,
you
what am I
can't
picking?
play if this would happen, if that would happen. You can't. Coaches don't think like that. We don't think the worst. We think the best.
Chargers.
I take my pick back. I'm taking the Chargers.
Why did you do that?
I forgot
You're
our
a good man,
advisors were
Dan.
taking. I took the Chargers because the Jaguars have disrespected Jersey Jerry. Brandon Staley is one of the best up-and-coming head coaches in the NFL.
You hate him.
The guy has what he did week 18
You think he's terrible.
to
What
keep
just
his
happened?
guys on the field. Continuity. Dion, as a coach, you want continuity going down the stretch of the season. You
Yep.
got to keep that flow.
Good job.
Brandon Staley, Chargers go in there and they win that game.
What
Deion, I'm
happened
rolling
with-
my eyes.
What happened with Jerry?
I forgot we picked the Chargers on advisors. Jerry,
How did the Jags disrespect
The
it?
Jaguars have started
Jerry
to
is a good
adopt.
man.
It was always.
Oh, shut up.
Oh,
They
that's
stole
right,
it
it
from
was
Jerry.
You didn't invent English.
Huh?
You didn't invent that phrase.
Yeah, he did.
I was the first content creator, yeah.
yeah.
Just say it.
We found a woman in Canada who said it in 2013. Doesn't count.
No.
Unless she
she's
runs
Canadian or 'cause
unless
she's a
she
woman?
runs
Yeah,
the
it's
social
up in the
media
air.
account.
Both.
So you think that they took it from you?
I know they
You
took it
know
from
they
me,
took
yeah.
it from you.
Yeah, this guy
Okay.
Dewey.
Yeah, but they're in the playoffs. Your team's not in the playoffs. They get to keep it.
That's fine. I mean, they could have it. I mean, they're going to get embarrassed, so
Yeah.
it don't matter.
Yeah, this is a Jersey Jerry revenge game, and I ride with my guy.
And
Sorry,
Brandon Staley.
and Brandon Staley's a genius. One of the best coaches, young coaches out there.
I'm gonna take a phrase from him too.
Jerry?
If the Jags can do it, I'm just gonna take it's a sad day.
How
It's a
about
bad day.
catastrophe?
Catastrophe? Yes. All right. I'm taking something.
Like
You can take
Brandon's
that. It's
picks
going.
this week are a catastrophe.
catastrophe. It's a sad day. It's a bad day.
It's time for the primetime pick of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. And Dan, I know that you and Jerry, you guys have a great bromance. You guys love each other very much. He did already get you out of the primetime picks for January.
Well, no, we should do this differently. This should just be a survivor in the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you use the team, you can't use them again.
Okay, so everybody's on the table then.
Yeah, everyone's on the table.
So
You can't use them again.
Clean slate.
Yeah.
So last week didn't matter. Doesn't matter. I mean, Deion, again, you've already won these, multiple months.
Yeah,
in a
I've won
row,
everything. I've won, yeah.
So
All I do
Dan,
is that.
I will let you start then. Fresh slate for the playoffs. Who is your survivor pick for wild card weekend?
I'll go with the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals are my survivor pick.
Brandon?
So me, I don't know if I'm going to be here another show, so I can just go ahead and take a team without worrying about picking them again. So I'm going to take the Bills because that's the easiest pick on the board this week.
Well, what if you are back?
You want to save them?
I know.
But I might not be back.
True.
So,
But what if you are?
well, I'll deal with that. That's a future Brandon problem.
it's a
Right
future
now, I'm
Brandon
just
problem.
taking the easiest. I'm picking the biggest apple off the tree.
Okay, so if you are back, you'll deal with it. If not, it's somebody else's problem.
Somebody else's problem.
Somebody else's future problem. All right, Deion, who are you taking?
Oh my God. I'm gonna take the Vikings.
Wow. Wow.
Oh boy.
This guy is supposed to be a coach of a Power 5
Man
program.
believes in Kirk Cousins.
Oh my God. Is that thin air getting to your head?
Thin air has been wonderful, matter of fact.
Didn't even feel like talking shit. He was just like, yeah, no, I'm
I
good.
love Boulder. Boulder's incredible.
It really is.
Boulder is
No, it
amazing.
really is. It really, really is. I've been here for a couple weeks. I've seen the first police I've seen here in a couple weeks ago.
Have you found a place to live yet?
No, they got their hand all the way down to my kneecap in my pockets, and prices are steep here. I'm just telling you, prices are.
It's a beautiful place.
So Big Cat, when he comes, you're going to have to get a hotel room.
I'm staying with you.
Can't afford
I'm
an extra
staying with
room.
you.
We don't have an extra room. No extra rooms.
All
It's
right.
expensive here.
Well, but when we all do come, as long as Jerry gets to be with Ralphie, that's all that matters.
Yeah. I just want Jerry to be running the runners. I'm working on that. But if not, I'm just definitely taking Jerry to meet Ralphie.
Oh, be very cute.
But I want Jerry to be a runner.
Yes.
But I'm thinking Jerry's going to do something. He's going to do something
Oh, he's going to do
to
something.
take the show.
Oh, no.
He's going to do
I
something.
didn't say that. Jerry's going to
you're-
do something funny.
Yeah,
That's a guarantee.
Oh, of course. I mean, as always. All right, that is Wild Card Weekend. Have a great Saturday and Sunday. We will be back next week. See you guys then.
Amen.
Good show.